Welcome back to Your Brain Lied, the podcast that helps you understand why your mind sometimes plays tricks on you, and more importantly, what you can do about it. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a topic I think so many of us struggle with: the guilt around rest. It's that nagging feeling that whispers or sometimes shouts that you shouldn't be relaxing, that you should be doing something, that voice that equates your worth with your productivity. Sound familiar? It's a common trap, and together we're going to explore why it happens, and more importantly, how to climb out of it. Think about it. When was the last time you truly rested without feeling even a tiny pang of guilt? Maybe you were on vacation, but even then, were you really present? Or were you already thinking about the emails piling up, the tasks you were falling behind on? Or maybe it was a Sunday afternoon on the couch. You're watching your favorite show, but your brain keeps reminding you about the laundry, the grocery shopping, the friend you haven't called back. Rest feels like a luxury we haven't earned, something we need to deserve through sheer output. But that's a lie, and your brain is the one telling it. So, why do we feel this way? Let's get into the heart of it. A lot of it stems from the messages we've internalized from society, from our families, and even from ourselves. We live in a culture that glorifies being busy. How are you? Oh, just so busy. We wear our packed schedules like badges of honor. It's as if busyness equals importance, and importance equals worth. And if we're not busy, well then what are we? Worthless, lazy, unproductive. These are the unspoken fears that drive the guilt. The idea that downtime is wasted time. Think of your energy like a bank account. You make deposits, sleep, nutritious food, meaningful connections, hobbies, and you make withdrawals, work, stress, deadlines, social obligations. If you only make withdrawals and never make deposits, what happens? You go into overdraft, you burn out, you're running on fumes. Rest is a deposit. It's not a luxury, it's a necessary investment in your well-being. It refills your tank so you can function effectively, creatively, and joyfully. Now consider the inner critic. Everyone has one. It's that voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, that you're failing, that you should be doing more. And when you try to rest, that inner critic goes into overdrive. You're just being lazy, it yells. Everyone else is working harder than you. You'll never achieve your goals if you keep slacking off. It uses guilt as a weapon to keep you in a constant state of striving, pushing you towards unsustainable levels of activity. This is where the real work begins, learning to recognize and challenge that inner critic. Let's paint a picture. Imagine someone named Sarah. Sarah works a demanding job in marketing. She's driven, ambitious, and good at what she does, but she also feels perpetually exhausted. On the weekends, instead of relaxing, she feels this overwhelming pressure to catch up on chores, on errands, on everything she neglected during the week. Even when she tries to relax, she can't fully switch off. Her mind races with to-do lists and worries about the upcoming week. She feels guilty for not being productive even on her days off. She starts to believe her worth is tied to how much she accomplishes. Sound familiar? Sarah's situation is common. The problem isn't that she isn't doing enough. The problem is that she's equating rest with failure. She believes that if she's not constantly achieving, she's somehow falling behind. But here's the truth. She's falling behind on life. She's missing out on opportunities for joy, connection, and rejuvenation. And ironically, her lack of rest is probably hurting her performance at work. Burnout leads to decreased focus, creativity, and problem-solving skills. So how do we break free from this cycle? How do we learn to rest without guilt? It's a process, and it takes conscious effort. It's about rewriting the narrative your brain has been telling you. It starts with recognizing that rest is not the enemy. It's a vital component of a balanced and fulfilling life. It's not something you have to earn. It's something you deserve, simply because you're a human being. Think of it like this. Imagine you have a garden. You plant beautiful flowers and vegetables, but you never water them or weed them. What happens? They wither and die. Rest is the water and the weeding for your mind and body. It allows you to flourish. Without it, you can't expect to grow and thrive. One of the most powerful tools is mindfulness. It's the practice of being present in the moment without judgment. When you start to feel guilty for resting, take a deep breath and acknowledge the feeling. Don't try to push it away or ignore it. Just observe it. Ask yourself, where is this feeling coming from? What am I afraid of? Often, simply bringing awareness to the guilt can weaken its hold on you. Another helpful strategy is to reframe your thinking. Instead of viewing rest as doing nothing, start seeing it as an active process of renewal. Think of it as recharging your batteries or investing in your well-being. Remind yourself that rest makes you more effective and productive in the long run. It's not about avoiding work, it's about working smarter, not harder. Let's revisit Sarah for a moment. Imagine Sarah decides to challenge her guilt around rest. She starts small. She dedicates 30 minutes each day to something she enjoys. Reading a book, taking a walk, listening to music, without allowing herself to feel guilty. When her inner critic starts to pipe up, she acknowledges it but doesn't let it dictate her actions. She tells herself, "It's okay to rest. I deserve this. This is good for me." Over time, the guilt starts to fade and she begins to truly enjoy her downtime. It's also important to set realistic expectations for yourself. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to accomplish everything on your to-do list every single day. It's okay to leave some things undone. It's okay to prioritize your well-being. It's okay to say no to commitments that drain your energy. Think about creating boundaries. This is crucial. In our always-on culture, it's easy to blur the lines between work and personal life. Set specific times when you're available for work and times when you're not. Turn off your notifications. Resist the urge to check your email or social media constantly. Create a physical space in your home that is dedicated to relaxation, where you can escape the pressures of work and responsibility. And remember, comparison is the thief of joy. Don't compare your productivity to others. Everyone has different energy levels, different priorities, and different circumstances. Focus on what works for you. Focus on creating a life that is sustainable and fulfilling, not just busy and impressive. You only see the highlight reel of other people's lives. Remember that. One other thing to consider is what you're calling rest. Is scrolling social media for hours really restful? Or is it more like a distraction that leaves you feeling even more drained? True rest involves activities that replenish your energy and nourish your soul. It could be spending time in nature, connecting with loved ones, pursuing a hobby, or simply sitting in silence and allowing yourself to be present. It's about finding activities that genuinely recharge you, not just numb you. Now let's think about someone else, someone named Michael. Michael is a stay-at-home dad. He feels guilty when he isn't actively engaging with his kids or completing household tasks. He feels like he should always be doing something productive to justify his role. He struggles to take breaks for himself because he believes it makes him a bad parent or partner. His inner critic tells him, "You should be doing more. You're not contributing enough." Michael's situation highlights another layer of guilt, the guilt associated with societal expectations. He feels pressured to conform to a certain image of what a stay-at-home parent should be, always available, always engaged, always perfect. But the truth is, everyone needs breaks, even parents. Taking time for yourself doesn't make you a bad parent, it makes you a better one. It allows you to recharge your batteries so you can be more present and patient with your children. Just like Sarah, Michael needs to challenge his inner critic and reframe his thinking. He needs to recognize that taking care of himself is an essential part of taking care of his family. He needs to give himself permission to rest without feeling guilty. This could involve scheduling regular breaks for himself, delegating tasks to his partner, or seeking support from other parents. It's about finding ways to prioritize his well-being without feeling like he's failing his family. Ultimately, overcoming the guilt around rest is about self-compassion. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. It's about recognizing that you are worthy of rest, regardless of your accomplishments. It's about giving yourself permission to slow down, recharge, and enjoy the simple pleasures of life. So, how can you start putting this into practice in your own life? Here are a few practical takeaways to consider. First, identify your guilt triggers. What situations or activities tend to trigger feelings of guilt when you try to rest? Once you're aware of your triggers, you can start to develop strategies for managing them. Is it watching TV, reading, napping? Once you know what sparks the feeling, you can actively work to reframe those activities as positive and restorative, not lazy or unproductive. Second, schedule rest into your day, just like you would schedule a meeting or an appointment. Treat it as a non-negotiable part of your routine. Start small. Maybe it's just 15 minutes of quiet time each day. Gradually increase the amount of time as you become more comfortable with it. Third, ask yourself, what is one small thing I can do today to prioritize my well-being? It doesn't have to be anything grand or elaborate. It could be as simple as taking a walk in nature, listening to your favorite music, or spending time with loved ones. And finally, a reflection question. What is one limiting belief you hold about rest? Is it that you have to earn it? Is it that it's a waste of time? Is it that it makes you weak or lazy? Once you identify your limiting belief, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this belief actually true? Is it serving me? What would it be like to let go of this belief? The journey to rest without guilt is a personal one. There's no one-size-fits-all answer. Be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself, and remember that you are worthy of rest just as you are. Thank you for joining me on Your Brain Lied. I hope this episode has helped you understand the guilt around rest and empowered you to create a more balanced and fulfilling life. Remember, your brain is just trying to protect you, but sometimes it needs a little retraining. Until next time, take care of yourself and don't forget to rest. You deserve it. Subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.